What if they do draft Shedeur Sanders, right? Do you think Deion would step in and be like, no,
Man, no
Shedeur's
question.
not going there?
Deion
I
don't want
would.
Shedeur to go to. I'm just thinking outside the box. I don't know for sure, but clearly he wouldn't want him to go to Cleveland. I don't think he would want him to go to Tennessee either. No, Cleveland, Tennessee. No, y'all miss me with that. We're not doing that.
Yeah, money, ain't that funny? I got haters, yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Money, ain't that funny? I got haters, yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Riding around the city, plastic cup of C-Rock, bigger and I'm blacker, I am on that Chris Rock.
Ladies and gents, welcome back once again. Yours truly, all things covered. Patrick Peterson, Bryant McFadden, back at you once again. Pat P, Happy New Year. This is our first show of the new year, is it? Yeah, it is,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
First show of
Happy New Year, my
2025.
guy.
First show of 2025. Happy New Year. How you doing? How you feeling, my guy?
Man, I'm feeling great in yourself, man. How you doing, man?
Man, it's a great day to be alive, man. No complaints at all. We're above ground, so let's take advantage of it. NFL, January football. You guys know what time it is. Postseason play is here. We will dissect all the ball games that we will see in Wild Card Weekend. Not to mention, there's some things we got to talk about as well, because the last time we saw you guys, we didn't get a chance to kind of fill you in on some of the things that has happened between me and my guy Pat P. Of course, but we got to talk about that. And also, too, you guys know what time it is. Anytime the NFL season comes to an end, there is some movement in terms of front office officials and head coaching as well. News have broke already coming out today. We will dissect all of that plus more in this episode, so stay tuned. Pat P,
What's up?
there were a lot of teams that clearly did not reach the level of expectations. When you go back months ago, getting ready for training camp was here, preseason play, a lot of people had expectations for certain teams.
Yep.
There were a few teams that were below average, to say the least, right? And I'm saying that nicely. And Jacksonville Jaguars, they were one of those teams. Doug Peterson felt like a few years ago, he was a prodigal son coming down to Duval County, taking over for Urban Meyer, got into the playoffs. And since then, everything has been going downhill. They fired Doug Peterson today. He is gone, no surprise there. But They decided to keep the GM Trent Baalke, who's been a part of the organization since 2021. And for a lot of Jaguar fans, they are scratching their head about Trent Baalke remaining in place and firing Doug Peterson. Me personally, I feel like sometimes when a GM has shown you who he is, trust and believe who he is. But for whatever reason, Mr. Khan, the owner for the Jaguars, he has a soft spot in his heart for Trent Baalke. So were you surprised to hear that Doug Peterson he got fired today? And what are your thoughts on Trent Baalke remaining the GM there in place with Jacksonville?
No, I wasn't shocked that that Coach Doug Peterson got the pink slip today, just because of the diabolical season how they started their season, the ups and downs, wasn't able to finish games. But after that season, they pretty much seemed like they wasn't able to get it, back in the right direction. Although there's not much expectations there in Jacksonville. But it just seemed like Trevor Lawrence didn't get any better in the last couple seasons with Doug Peterson, when he was supposed to be not a quarterback whisperer, but a guy who was supposed to jumpstart the offense. And it just seemed like they wasn't able to do that. But I was definitely shocked that Trent did not get the pink slip as well, being there for since 2021 I think he was there with Doug. Yeah, Doug was there. He brought Doug in because this was Doug's third season as a head coach for the Jacksonville Jaguars. But I was surprised that he did not get the pink slip as well, because at the end of the day, in 5 years, you had two coaches and, not much success. So it's time. I would have thought that it would have been time to make a change at that position as well, but that did not happen. So at the end of the day, I feel like, Trent, after this season, may have a very, very short leash. But we'll see. You never know, what owners are thinking and what kind of spot they have, in their heart for their general manager. So we'll see in the future to come. But I was not shocked to see Doug Peterson get the pink slip.
I'm right there with you. I was surprised to see Trent Baalke remain in place because if you're trying to bring in a prominent type head coach, sometimes head coaches and GMs are hired together. That's what we've seen in years past. You look at some teams that have gotten it right. The Detroit Lions, looking at what they're currently doing, bringing in Brad Holmes, hiring Dan Campbell together. GMs and head coaches are like pitchers and catchers.
Yep.
They got to have a very, very unique, authentic relationship, genuine relationship. And usually those guys are hired together. And once again, you look at Trent Baalke, he was already in place when they brought in Doug Peterson. It didn't work out. And now they're moving on once again. So hopefully whoever the head coach they decide to bring in is okay with Trent being the GM, because you never know. If I was being a head coach, if I was going into a situation, I would probably want to have a relationship already in place with the GM. It would make me feel good if we're hired together so we can kind of create this culture that we visualize for the program moving forward. So we'll see, Jacksonville Jaguars, but it was a disappointing season, and hopefully they can correct their wrongs in the near future. In other news, the New England Patriots decided to cut ties with Gerard Mayo. I was 50-50 with this. Clearly it was a disappointing season, but the expectation wasn't as high as the Jacksonville Jaguars because, number one, they lack talent. Number two, it was a change of the guard there with Bill Belichick walking away. So you knew it was going to be a difficult year in terms of everything that was circulating around this organization. So I don't know what you really expected from Gerard Mayo, but he got the axe. Were you surprised to see Gerard Mayo fired after one season?
I'm with you, Mac. I was 50-50 as well because the team lacked so much talent to be able to compete with anybody in the league. But on the other hand, looking to see how these young quarterbacks, well, at least the ones that were able to flourish in their first season, I really feel like owners are going to start to really try to marry up their franchise quarterback with a shot caller, like someone that can really bring the best out of their young quarterback, someone that can really help them flourish and really help them be and understand how to be a franchise quarterback. So like you, I was 50-50 as well, but I was not shocked that he got fired because it seems to always be difficult for defensive head coaches to find an offensive coordinator that really fits their team, because most defensive head coaches, they just want to worry about the defensive side of the ball, but not understanding you still want to be able to move the ball and help your young quarterback, succeed in this league. But at the same time, you got to be able to have talent around him in order to do that. And they did not have that. And I thought that he will at least have another season under his belt. But at the same time as well, I really feel like the Patriots did not get any better throughout the season until they only played the Bills for the most part. Having the defense did not get better under his head coaching vacancy. And that's something that he was supposed to lean his hat on, and the defense was not able to be as successful as they was hoping that they can be. So it was just a disarray from the jump. And quite honestly, he had no shot with this team that he was dealt with, and that's just the way the business is, man. You hate to see that he did not get a fair shake at this job, but you only can. It's just like spades. You only can play the hand that you dealt.
Yeah, it was an ugly hand. It was a definitely ugly hand, and it was hard for Gerard Mayo because you're replacing Bill Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
That's already the one difficult task. And secondly, you were a part of the Patriots organizations in two different ways, as a player and then, of course, on the coaching staff with Bill Belichick. So you understood the Patriots way, and it just didn't work out. But then I felt like Robert Kraft, the owner, would kind of exercise some patience with Gerard Mayo because you drafted him. He won Super Bowls with the organization, and then he was on the staff with Bill. So clearly there's some equity built up. You would have thought that he would say, you know what, we're going to give it one more time to kind of run it back to see. So that was alarming. And then I look at other, what's going to happen with Tennessee and Brian Callahan because they were piss poor as well. You know what I mean? So now it's like, what determines if you get a one and done opportunity? That's the thing, because you rarely see coaches get fired after 1 year. It has happened, right? But
6
you rarely,
times.
you rarely see it. You know what I mean? So that was kind of confusing for me. But we'll see what goes on with the New England Patriots. But whoever gets that opportunity, they will have a lot of cap money to play with this offseason to kind of improve their roster through spending a lot of money, because they're going to have to spend a lot of money to get guys to go to that organization, because the future doesn't look bright right now. You got Drake May, look really good, but outside of that, I don't know. In other news, the New York Giants, they just made it known. Brian Daboll and Joe Shane, GM, they're returning as well. I got mixed views on this. And the reason why I got mixed views on this, Pat P viewers, is because I'm a Brian Daboll fan. I think he really can coach ball. But I felt like he didn't have a full deck of cards to play with, right? You look at the offseason moves, you decided to let Saquon Barkley walk. You decided to put all your trust in Daniel Jones, build around Daniel Jones. That didn't work out. And then, like, what do you expect? When you look at having Tommy DeVito and Drew Lock at the quarterback position. You know what I mean? Then, you lost Dexter Lawrence. It was a lot going on. But I think he can coach ball. My biggest, surprise, the bigger surprise for me, Joe Shane is staying in place. And the reason why I felt like Joe Shane should have been the one on the outside looking in is because during that offseason series of Hard Knocks, we got a chance to really watch the thought process and the decision making for the New York Giants under their GM Joe Shane about the offseason moves, right? And we kind of saw what he thought was best for the team. Remember the whole what we should do with Saquon Barkley, this and that, this and that. Hey, we had Xavier McKinney on the show, and he said they didn't even offer him a contract.
Yeah.
And now this man got 8 interceptions with the Green Bay Packers, who are playing in the playoffs this weekend, right? So now it's like, how good is his ability to evaluate talent? Because I'm going to tell you this much, Pat P. I watched from afar. You actually were a part of the NFL over a year ago. For him to sit here and push the envelope for Daniel Jones, I never saw Daniel Jones as that type of guy. Like, so what is your football eye telling you where you felt like if we do X, Y, and Z, we can get this kind of Daniel Jones? I felt like he is who he is. Heck, if you even go back to his days in Duke, he was overdrafted. You know what I mean? He was overdrafted coming out of Duke for whatever reason. So he came into New York with lofty expectations, but his skill set would never reach those expectations. He never was, when you overdraft a guy, it's like, why are you expecting elite level expectations where he's never been that kind of guy? He may never reach that. So we're going to see how this works out, but I was definitely surprised to see both coming back. What were your thoughts on that with the Giants?
Yeah, I was surprised to see both coming back as well. I thought Brian Daboll would be gone. I thought the GM would be gone as well, just because, like you said, the world got an opportunity to see how he assessed a team, how he assessed talent, how he assessed his players. And it wasn't a very good look, for the Giants and the general manager in that offseason Hard Knocks that HBO gave the world the opportunity to view, but like you said as well, if GMs and the head coaches are normally tied at the hip, so if one or the other is not gone, it's very sudden that you see the GM get fired before the head coach. You know what I mean? So if you saw the head coach coming back, it was 9 times out of 10 that the GM was coming back as well. So the Giants are going to continue to. I really feel like they're going to be in the same hole that they're in, because they may have an opportunity to find a quarterback depending on what they do in the draft, far as trading up or back to get their guy, but. They haven't done anything since the Super Bowl.
Yep.
That was 2011. 10?
Well, that's a long time ago.
Yeah, 09. So It's been a while,
That,
and
that was a that was a long time ago.
yeah, so it's been a while, and it looked like it's going to continue to be a while. The decision making that they have been making around that organization for the last 20 years.
Yeah. So now, as we see it right now, head coaching vacancies: the Jets, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Chicago, New England. I think that's what we have right now confirmed, if I'm not mistaken. Those are the vacancies right now. Which would probably be the most desirable destination, you think, Pat P? Jets, Jacksonville, New Orleans, Chicago, New England.
It got to be Chicago.
Yeah, it got to be
So the
Chicago.
thing is, it is the most intriguing job, but that division, whatever coach is going to be that, whatever head coach that they pick, he better be ready because it's 3 teams that's in your division that's in the playoffs right now, and
Yep.
on top of that, you're gonna have to play. Obviously you have to play those teams, twice a year, both of those teams. So that's 6 games between divisional opponents. Like I said, with all 3 of those teams being playoff teams, and quite frankly, none of those 3 teams are going anywhere anytime soon. You know what I mean? So it is a very desirable job, but it's going to be a very, very hard job to be successful in, just because the talent and the competition that you have in the NFC North.
I agree with you. I think in terms of being a desirable destination, you got a quarterback in Caleb, ultra talented guy. You already got pieces around Caleb, DJ Moore, Cole Kmet. You got to improve your offensive line. You got some pieces on the defensive side as well. So you have talent. I think they have more talent than the other destinations, the other vacancies. I think that's a plus. But to your point, that gauntlet in that division, that NFC North ain't slowing down no time soon. Detroit ain't going nowhere. Green Bay ain't going nowhere. Minnesota ain't going nowhere. So that is going to be something you got to be mindful of. But the market also too. Chicago's a nice market. The Bears organization with a lot of tradition and prestige. So I think that is the most desirable. So we're gonna monitor and see how this goes. But let us know your thoughts. Hit us up in the comment section in terms of the firings that we've heard about right now. Don't it's gonna be many more coming down as the week goes on, as we get ready towards this weekend. And with that being said, we're gonna get ready to really give you our opinions in terms of playoff football. The playoff schedule is here. We know exactly who's in the playoffs, when they're playing, where they're playing, and we will dissect that next coming up. All things covered. Pat P, NFL playoffs is here. We got a list of games to go through, but before we do, every week we give our list, and me and Pat P, we love to compete.
It's crazy that we ain't giving no list out this week. Huh? That's crazy. But go ahead.
Yeah, but the last time we gave our list of games out, we give our thoughts on who we think gonna win based on the spread. By the way, based on the spread, and I won once again. All right, so we had a wager. I will be receiving some good water, the good, good expensive water too, good electrolytes in there, everything, and he get a chance to try to get some get back today, right? I don't know if he will, because I just think I just got him in a chokehold right now. Ain't nothing he can do about it. It is what it is. But we got playoff football to dissect. Pat P look like he got his pen and his pad ready. It don't matter. It ain't gonna help him. It is what it is at this point.
Because I need to write my own stuff down.
What you mean? Why you gotta do that?
Go over the pitch, man.
What you trying to say? Oh, the information hasn't been accurate?
Baltimore and the Steelers. I like Baltimore.
Oh, he fired up today. You like Baltimore covering that 9.5?
Damn.
Yeah. You like Baltimore covering 9.5?
I don't. But Baltimore is going to win this game.
Well, yeah, but we go with the spread. We go with the spread, my boy. You know how we do.
I'm gonna go Pitt.
Oh, okay.
That's a lot of points in the playoffs. God damn, baby.
That's disrespectful.
Yeah, that's
and I'm
very
gonna tell you this
disrespectful.
much, Pat P. The last time the Steelers and Mike Tomlin won a playoff game, I think it was 2016.
It's been a while.
It's been a long, long time.
Mm-hmm.
And we know about the playoff woes for Lamar Jackson. Once again, he's up for MVP. So there's a lot at stake for either side outside of the norm, which is trying to get to the Super Bowl.
Mm-hmm.
Right? The Pittsburgh Steelers fans, their patience is extremely short. They expect championship every year, granted, because of the tradition. And for Baltimore and the Ravens, when you have an outstanding player like Lamar Jackson who's dominated regular season play, you would love to see some of that dominating style show up in postseason. And both teams know each other extremely well. So to your point, 9.5 in a playoff game, and most playoff games come down to a possession or two. That is a bit much. I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers. Being familiar with Baltimore should help them, and the same can be said for Baltimore. But you're telling me you're getting 9.5 in a playoff game, divisional teams that know each other extremely well. And remember in the last meeting in Baltimore, what really jump-started the efforts for Baltimore was that freaking Russell Wilson turnover when the game was 7-7. They had an opportunity to go at 14-7.
It did.
He let go of the football, bam. And one thing about Pittsburgh, I'm going to tell you this much. They're not good enough to have turnovers and still overcome those turnovers. They're not good enough to do that. Right? So I'm taking the Pittsburgh Steelers as well, getting 9.5. The earlier matchup on Saturday, because, Pat, we got 2 games on Saturday.
I know, but hold on. I tell you what.
What you got?
They better get that offense going, because if that offense is not able to move the ball, they might get their ass beat by 10 points. Just
Pat,
because
I ain't gonna lie to you. Watching Pittsburgh for 3 quarters against Cincinnati, it felt like the Steeler offense that we watched with Matt Canada and Kenny Pickett.
I'm telling you, because they don't want to let that Baltimore Ravens defense get swarming early. And then if your offense can't get going, and then Lamar Jackson can play the way that he's been playing the last month of the season.
Yep.
Whoo. All right, next game.
I'm right there with you, my boy. When you're right, you're right. That thing get ugly, boy. That snowball get bigger and bigger as it come down here.
No doubt about it.
You cannot get out the way.
I'm trying, and you already got a receiver that. Oh my goodness. We'll talk about him later, but go ahead.
All right. Chargers going to Houston. The Chargers are laying 3 points to the Houston Texans.
I like the Chargers. Houston can't block nobody. And I don't think they're going to be able to score.
That Coach Harbaugh, a heck of a coach, boy.
Yes, indeed.
Boy. Harbaugh is a heck of a coach. I'm right there with you. I'm taking the Chargers as well. The reason why I'm taking the Chargers is because, Houston won the final game of the season against the Tennessee Titans, but outside of that, they've been looking bad.
Very bad.
You're right. The offensive line hasn't been good all year. Why do we believe they're going to be great
against Joey Bosa? I'm sorry, Nick, it is Joey Bosa. I know you got brothers. Yeah, with Joey Bosa coming off the edge, man.
Khalil Mack, Derwin James. And I'm going to tell you this much. Justin Herbert over the last 2 weeks, granted, he didn't play against superior-like teams, but he put up almost 600 yards against the Patriots.
And haven't thrown an interception in the last 7 games.
Huh?
And haven't thrown an interception in the last 7 games.
Yeah, he's been balling. He really has been balling. If they can keep J.K. Dobbins afloat, that's the key for their offense.
That is definitely the key.
They got a shot. All right, next game. Sunday slate. The Broncos traveling to Buffalo. They getting 9 points.
I like Denver.
I like Denver too. That's Sean Payton. Sean Payton can coach some ball. He's going to have a game plan. I'm going to tell you this much.
What?
I don't know how the weather going to look Sunday in Buffalo, because it's probably going to be some snow.
Hey, and if it is, in my opinion, if it is a snowy game, it's going to be a dogfight.
If it's a snowy game, I like Denver getting 9 points. That makes me feel even feel better about them getting 9 points.
That too, but I feel like what we talked about early on in the year, what was the biggest weakness of the Buffalo Bills?
Running through the teeth of their defense.
My point exactly. And what the Denver Broncos going to do? They're going to control the clock, and they're going to naked boot Bo Nix and the Buffalo Bills defense to death, and they're going to control the game. Now, if it's good weather and to where, Josh Allen going to be back there, have an opportunity to be back there and throw the ball all over the yard, then it can get kind of ugly. But if it comes to like one of those slugfest types of game where Josh Allen is probably going to throw the ball and no more than 250 yards, the damn Denver Broncos going to have a chance to win this game. Damn, covering the damn spread.
Yeah.
If the weather becomes an issue, I believe the Denver Broncos can upset the Buffalo Bills. But that's my take. We'll see what happens because I really do trust Sean Payton and his play calling ability. I really like what Bo Nix have been doing in his rookie campaign. And the defense, breaking their own team sack record. So we know they're going to get to Josh Allen. Now it's going to be about can they affect him enough to force him into some ill-advised throws to help give their offense some extra possessions with the ball.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I love the Broncos too, especially if it's a snowy game. Getting 9 points, that's huge. Next game, Green Bay. This is a rematch. Green Bay traveling to Philly. Philly is giving the Green Bay Packers 5.5. Healthy Saquon Barkley, well-rested Jalen Hurts. Green Bay been kind of surviving, to say the least, but this is a rematch. In the first game, I think Green Bay lost 29-32 in the first game in Brazil. I think that was the score. Who you taking?
Green Bay.
Dang, I hate the fact that we're on the same line on the first four. I'm taking.
Go ahead and switch it up.
I'm gonna take Green Bay. Next game, another rematch, Pat P. Washington traveling to Tampa. Tampa is giving 3.5 to the Commanders.
This is gonna be the changer right here. I'm gonna go with Washington, man.
I knew you going Washington.
I'm gonna go with Washington. I know this is gonna be the changer right here. You taking Tampa? I know you taking Tampa.
I want to take Washington, but I'm gonna take Tampa just to change it
up.
up.
Hold on, what's the spread again?
3.5.
Yeah, I'm taking Washington.
I'm gonna take Tampa.
Okay.
All right, last game. Minnesota traveling to LA.
Ooh.
They got the Rams. Minnesota's giving the Rams 2.5.
Ooh, we might be different on this one too.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be different.
Manny, I'm just writing them down. LAR. Minnesota's giving the Rams 2.5, you said, or 3.5?
2.5.
Man, this is playoff football, man. And Sam Darnold showed me who he possibly can be in playoff football. They're going on the road, playing against Sean McVay, Matthew Stafford. Give me the Rams.
Dang, I'm taking the Rams too. I'll take it. You don't trust me? Want to go have a game plan in place?
I tell you what, if he come with that same game plan that he had against the Detroit Lions last night, they don't stand a chance. Because we saw if the ball is not coming out of Sam Darnold's hand quickly, and the team and the defensive line is forcing him to go through his second read and get his eyes down off of his receivers, he looks like the Sam Darnold of old. And you already know how this league is. It's a copycat league. I'd be damned if the Rams not going to be sending pressure. It might not be the same pressure that he was getting last night, but I can almost guarantee that there will be some type of pressure, some type of simulated pressures coming towards him to force him to hold on the ball a little bit longer, force him to go through his reads, and then therefore that's when you got him. Because as you saw, Sam Darnold dropped back last night. He had no clean indications on his first read. When he got his eyes off his second read, his eyes went down, started scrambling, running for his life, throwing the ball out of bounds, throwing the ball all over the place. And I believe last night was his real first taste, because you got to think about this as well. He never played in a playoff game before.
Nope.
And last night was his real first taste of a playoff atmosphere in a playoff game. And I really feel like the Rams going to carbon copy the Detroit Lions game plan and try to throw the kitchen sink at him, at Sam Darnold as well in this game Monday night. And then, like I said, give me the Rams and Sean McVay.
Hey, it felt like Sam Darnold was seeing 15 players out there for
Man.
Detroit instead of 11. They had
As soon as he got the ball, he was like,
boy,
I
they
mean,
got
he
15
wasn't
people
even
on the
going
field, man.
through progressions, bro. As soon as he got the ball, he looked. He's trying to see where that pressure coming from. Get the hell out of Dodge.
Man, listen, that thing was ugly. I'm taking the Rams too. I'm gonna take the Rams, boy. Sean McVay. I'm gonna tell you this though: if they do not get Cooper Kupp involved, they might lose. For some reason, last few weeks they have not gotten Cooper Kupp involved in the game plan. That don't make any sense. So can they get Cooper Kupp involved? But I'm taking the Rams as well. Before we let you go, Pat P, we got some breaking news in the NFL. GM for the Cleveland Browns, Andrew Berry, just announced that quarterback Deshaun Watson suffered a setback in his Achilles recovery. The team was informed yesterday, and the impact on his 2025 season remains uncertain. Remember, he tore his Achilles towards the end of the season this year, was put on IR, had surgery, but he suffered a setback. Now, in terms of Deshaun, we know financially they're tied to him until 2026. Basically, so much money tied to him. So clearly he was going to be on the roster. But now seeing where they're slotted in the draft, right? I think they're number 2 behind the Tennessee Titans, behind the Tennessee Titans. I felt like they already should, being at the top 3 in the draft, you got to go draft the quarterback. But now hearing the status of Deshaun Watson, potentially his status for 2025 is uncertain. What do you think if you were the GM for the Cleveland Browns? Put your GM hat on. What are you looking to do in this upcoming year's draft, being at number 2? You got your GM hat.
Yeah.
I know you like coaching ball, but I don't know you want to make front office decisions, but you got opportunity to do so right here. You're the GM. You're sitting at 2. When you look at the draft, clearly there's only 2 guys that we visualize being top 5 selection at the quarterback position. Cam Ward of Miami, Shedeur Sanders of Colorado. You're the GM in the Browns. You're at 2. You hear about this news of Deshaun Watson. Clearly the quarterback play was already in disarray anyway. What are you doing?
I'm getting a quarterback. I got my GM hat on. I'm getting a quarterback. Here's why I'm getting a quarterback. Deshaun Watson have done nothing for me since he's been a starter. Yeah, I know I gave him the worst contract in NFL history.
Well, the best for him, but the worst for the
best
team.
for him, but the worst for the organizational standpoint. The worst NFL contract in history. And quite frankly, it's sad to see that, if we can call upon quarterbacks off the couch and they can come in and win more games than you being with the team in spring training, OTAs, and training camp. That's unexcusable. And on top of that, because we already know being upstairs, we have a bunch of young kids on our team. I thought you hurt your rehab, man. Why are we traveling? I thought you hurt your Achilles. Why are we traveling the world? Sit your ass down. Every time I look at Instagram, he over here, he over there. You need to be in rehab, getting your Achilles right, so you can be the best for the dang on football team when you get back healthy. So that's probably why. I'm not saying that's why he had a setback, but that's probably one of the reasons, because he's moving around too much. Man, you got a ruptured Achilles. Why are you on planes traveling to this place, going across the world to that place? Live your life. I get it. But at the same time,
and if you do it, you ain't got to record it for TikTok.
My thing, that was exactly what I was about to say. If you are doing it, the world don't got to see it, especially going through the injury that you're going through. Like,
and you've been playing bad.
And you've been playing bad. So is football is really on the top of your agenda right now?
Hey.
So that's my GM hat, coach.
Man, listen, I don't understand, to your point, because when I played the game, for me, anytime I had a bad day at the office, I just want to sit inside, nowhere. Man. I ain't want to go nowhere, man. I can't enjoy myself. I'm out here playing this bad ball, man. I might had a rough Saturday, Sunday. What am I here? What I'm doing? I won't go nowhere. I don't even want to go to the grocery store. I don't want to see me until I felt like I've earned my way to be out and about with the people. That's how I used to feel. Like now it's like, because the players are getting so much money, deserving so, it's almost like, man, I can care less. I got this check coming anyway.
Yeah.
Like, man, when you have a bad day, bro, I used to feel that way at college. Man, I can't go out and hang out, man. I ain't out here. I ain't doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Hey, Mac. Man, my wife would tell you, man, if we lost, because we always have dinner set after a game. If we lost, we going home.
Ain't no. Well, I'm out. We lost, and I'm out here, man. I'm out here laying down like this, and we keep losing.
Going home. We going to DoorDash, Uber Eat, or we can stop by the grocery store. You can cook tonight. We going home.
Yeah, I don't understand, bro. And that's the thing. Like you said, if you want to live your life, you can, but we don't need to see it.
Yeah.
It's almost like I don't want to say flaunting, but it's like, yeah, your team bad, but I'm still out here having fun.
I'm winning.
Yeah, we know you got a bunch of money. We know that. Everything is public news. We know that. Sit down and get back to the drawing board. Just get back, get healthy, get back to a drawing board. And if you do want to enjoy yourself, which you should, because life is not all about football. Mm-hmm. There's a life outside of football. We don't have to see it.
Yeah. Because at the same priorities. At the same time too, Matt, every guy who had an eruption Achilles who came back from it, how successful have they been?
They haven't been too successful. Of course,
off the bat.
Football-wise, Kevin Durant but he's doing well. Cam Akers did tear his Achilles, and he's one of the rare, ones who've come back.
He tore his Achilles and his ACL.
Yeah. But to your point with Deshaun, and I'm gonna tell you this much, Pat. If they're talking about his 2025 season is uncertain, if he don't play this year, his career is over. Now, granted, they still financially tied to him, but if he's out a full year, no, they're ready to move on right now. They just can't because of the money.
Yeah, they just can't.
They can't because of the money. But being number 2 in the draft, if you're Cleveland,
you got to go get
fall in love with any one of those quarterbacks, you got to go get it. Because in terms of being in quarterback hell, I don't know if there's another organization that have been in quarterback hell as long as the Cleveland Browns. Think about this. As long as you've been living as a teenage boy, grown to be a man, you've only known Cleveland to be bad at quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You don't. When you think about Cleveland, think about this, viewers. For all our adults that are watching, that have been watching football for quite some time, throughout most of your adulthood life, the Cleveland Browns have been in quarterback hell. I know when I was in the division, they've always been in quarterback hell. They've had 40+ quarterbacks start for them.
That's crazy.
And we ain't talking about it in 40 years.
They have had more starting quarterbacks since they started back playing, I believe. I saw a stat or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bailey Zappi just started for them. Bailey Zappi.
Zappi.
So get it right. And to your point, Pat P, great advice. Deshaun, chill out.
Man, you gotta relax, man.
Chill out, man. We don't need to see you dancing behind the culinary, man, and the out there with all the out there in the mountains, man, and on private
camels.
We know you got it. We know you full. We know that.
Yeah, his cup is never empty for sure.
Oh no, we know you can travel and go wherever you want to go, but bruh, wait until you get back to being at Deshaun that out here giving them hell, because right now, no. And imagine how the teammates feel, because I know I'll be like, bruh, first of all, you ain't in the facility training.
Right.
We ain't seen you in the training room
since
work. You don't remove yourself every time we look. Oh, this man over here in Europe, he over here in the mountains, he over here in the islands. One thing I appreciate with Dak Prescott, we know he's on IR, right? And I don't know what he does the week of in terms of prep, like amongst the guys during practice. But during games,
they said he in the building.
Dak Prescott in the booth with the headset on, watching, helping. He ain't on the sideline, but he's there in the building.
Yeah, they say they back in the building every day, helping Cooper with the game plan. Yeah,
I like that. That means something, bro.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott could easily sit here and say, "Man, I'm done for the year, man. I'm gonna go ahead and do my rehab elsewhere. I ain't got to be here in Dallas." But no, when you play the quarterback position, your position is different than everybody else.
Yeah,
you the face of the franchise, so your leadership needs to be felt, even if you're not out there with us. Deshaun Watson is out here, man. I guess he say, you know what he say? Man,
My
Cleveland
offseason
cold.
started early. That's what he said.
Cleveland cold, we losing. What I'm going to stick around here for?
He definitely said that. I go down to Miami, man. I ain't been around here in no Cleveland. 20-degree weather, 5 feet of snow. I got
And
a
we
shovel.
losing.
I got a shovel to get out of my dang on driveway, and we losing. No
I tell you this
bueno.
much. I bet if Jameis Winston would hurt, I bet James would still be in the building.
Shoot, Jameson will still be running out the tunnel.
No question. No question. But that's breaking news. Cleveland, you're on the clock. Y'all need a quarterback, but 9 times out of 10, they're going to get it wrong.
That's our first breaking news, Mac.
That's
Great
first
job.
breaking news of 2025. They're going to get it wrong, though, Pat. I don't trust them to do right back at the quarterback position. They're going to get it wrong.
And, man, I just hope. And check this out. Think about this. What if they do draft Shedeur Sanders, right? Do you think Deion would step in and be like, no,
Man, no
Shedeur's
question.
not going there?
I would. Deion don't want Shedeur to go to. I'm just thinking outside the box. I don't know for sure, but clearly he wouldn't want him to go to Cleveland. I don't think he would want him to go to Tennessee either. No, Cleveland, Tennessee. No, y'all miss me with that. We're not doing that. No, Tennessee, Cleveland, no. You know where he won't go. So
but this is gonna be an interesting draft because Tennessee, I would take a quarterback if I was there.
They need one.
Yeah, but they might not. They might trade back.
Yeah, because it might be a nice handsome ransom they can get in return.
So they might trade back. I can see the Giants possibly trading up to the number 1 spot. We know the Patriots not taking a quarterback.
Nope.
Who's the number 5? Who have the number 5?
Giants had 3.
No, who got the number 5? Oh, Giants got 3. I thought it was number 4.
They moved up. The Giants.
So it's possible that the Giants will move back in and get, either the number 2 or the number 1 pick to get either Shedeur or Cam.
Yeah, we got.
So I got my GM hat still on. So we're looking to move up if I'm the Giants.
The Giants 3, Patriots 4, Jags 5, Raiders 6.
And who was 1 and 2?
Tennessee, Cleveland.
Yeah. Because Cleveland going to take a quarterback.
They better.
Cleveland going to take a quarterback and the best chance. And Giants ain't really got no equity like that to be given I mean, I guess they can only trade the picks, the 1 and 3. I don't know, man. I see the Giants finding a way to get back in the top 2 to get their quarterback because Tennessee needs to take a quarterback, but I have a gut feeling they're not going to take a quarterback.
They better find a way to get it right.
Yeah.
Because if they don't, they're going to be trying to take another quarterback in 2026.
And a head coach.
The head coach, don't question, he on borrowed time. All right, well, Pat P, we got our picks in.
Yep.
We gave some sound advice to Deshaun, and I'll be waiting on my water.
Yes, sir. So I want to make sure we get off. So this game, playoffs, this is for water.
Yes.
And Sprites, right? All right. I got to make
And
sure.
I already got a case coming.
All right. I just have to make sure with you. You be
What
some
do you
people trying to
I
woozy
don't like
you.
that. I don't like how that
this,
sounds.
that, and the other. So let me put this down. Water and Sprite. All right, Mac.
All right.
Be good.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, money. Ain't that funny? I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Money. Ain't that funny? I got haters. Yeah, they watching, but I know they love me. Riding around the city, plastic cup of C-Rock. Bigger and I'm blacker. I am on that Chris Rock.